UFC Perth, Fight Night Perth, Ulberg versus Reyes is this weekend in Perth, Australia. And I'm going to go over the whole thing. Okay, starting off with the prelims. Lookboonme versus Alexia Thainara. I have Luma. She's going to win the fight. She's a better striker. And it's a women's fight, so I don't give a shit. Two debuting heavyweights, Brando Pericic versus Alicia Ellison. I have Brando. It's gonna be a shitty fucking fight. It's gonna be a 3-round slob fest. It's gonna suck balls, and I'm not gonna like it. And then even more exciting, you have Michelle Montague versus Luana Carolina. Dude, fuck, bro. It's my third time recording this video because my cam link keeps freezing, so I'm just kind of out of it. It's no excuse though. Yeah. Saving a real job. Michelle Montague versus Luana Carolina. Michelle Montague by decision. Just better fighter. So if I don't like the fight, by the way, I'm just gonna say they're a better fighter, and call it at that. You know. If you guys know like an alternative to Fight Pass, because I don't like Fight Pass's user interface, unless they made an update in the last like 6 months. If you guys know about that, but like I need to figure out a better way to get these fight libraries, because this is like hindering my research for these fights. In all honesty, I'm just going off of memory, and it'll be amazing to see some of their fights in the past. You know, to refresh the memory, because you watch so many, you kind of forget. But Colby Thickenings versus Josias Musasa, both coming off a loss. You know, Colby's a little bit better. This is a toss-up for me, but I'm going to give it to Colby as my official decision, my choice. Probably by finish, too, but no. It's going to end in a finish, though. Jimmy Mullarkey, Bellato, Bedoya. I'm realizing here that I'm kind of going for a lot of the Australians, but, you know, let's see what Rolando Bedoya's got. I mean, I don't know. Listen, these fights are kind of shit. If I'm being honest with you guys. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's a shitty fucking fight night card, except for the main event, which I'm really excited for. So I guess maybe I'll change personalities when that comes around. But, you know, till then, I'm looking at my OBS and I'm scared it's gonna freeze again, because if it fucking freezes, no one's ever gonna see this video, and I'm done. And I'm not making a video tonight, and I'll just live stream tomorrow. Cam Rowston versus Andre Petroski is gonna be really fun though. The next fight, you know, Cam Rowston, an amazing Dana White Contender Series fight, and he's gonna win by finish. This would be great. You know, good debut for him. Navajo Stirling, Rodado Bellato. You know, one guy's on a tear and the other guy is faking knockouts against Paul Craig. So, and also shout out Paul Craig for a hell of a career. I thought I should say that. I've been making videos lately, so I kind of missed out on a lot of the news. You know, I didn't make a lot of videos really. I gotta get back on it. But I've changed my setup again, like always. So let's see how this one shapes out. I want to see how it looks on video. I want to see how much I like this camera angle. So far, I'm liking it though. But you know, it probably change again. But yeah, I have Stirling by decision. Good up and comer. Another win for him. It's gonna be great. Great addition to the light heavyweight division. Struggled a little bit in his last fight, you know, not his Mr. Finishing, but you know what? You live and you learn. You didn't lose it, and that's the most important. So getting on to the main card now, Tom Nolan, Charlie Campbell. Tom Nolan had a great fight in his last fight. Tom Nolan threw down, bro. I got Tom Nolan winning this fight. Good for Nolan. It's going to be a great win at home for him. Very excited. I'm realizing here I'm going for a lot of the Australians, though, and I guess it just shaped up that way. Because, not to give any spoilers, but for the next few I am going Australian here. So, Jake Matthews, Neo Magny. Listen, man, I love Neo Magny. I grew up with Neo Magny. You know, watching his fights. What a gatekeeper. You know, he was more at one point, but not anymore. He should retire. Jake Matthews has been around also for a very long time. But Jake Matthews has been in the UFC since he was very young. And people think Jake Matthews is a lot older than he really is. And, you know, from Jake to Jake, I got to go for my boy. So, I got Matthews by decision. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Taveras. Um, these guys are both coming off of losses that were like pretty fucking shit. So this is kind of a toss up again. I mean, I could lean Ramon Taveras, but I would not be surprised if Jack Jenkins knocked this guy out. And, it's going to be a very peaceful day, if I'm being honest, when it comes to watching these fights. Maybe it's supposed to be always peaceful, but for me, sometimes it's, you shaking the seat, you claw out the chair, you're like, oh my god, what the fuck, what's going to happen? And, I guess, it's not going to be that day tomorrow. I'm going to enjoy it. I think we got like 7 straight weeks of fights, though, so I got a lot of videos to make. But next fight, Jimmy Crute, even Erslan. Jimmy Crute with the sub last fight was amazing. He was retired, right? And then now he's like back, and it's like he was debating retiring, so he never really retired, but he was out for a bit, and now he's on this like tear. He's coming up. I got Jimmy Crute here by a finish, maybe another submission, but he's type of guy to get some subs like that. No one could see coming twice back to back. No like Walter Walker stuff, but like it's gonna be from left field. Who's gonna win the fight? All right, main event. Yeah, this is the main event. I'm happy with the main event. The only reason why I'm putting my phone away, because I don't need to see anything else. Number 3 ranked Carlos Ulberg versus number 7 ranked Dominic Reyes. Light heavyweight main event. It all comes down to this. Not really, because it's not for a title. But let's talk Dominic Reyes for a minute. Maybe the UFC will probably, if Dominic, which I guess, how do I phrase this without spoiling my opinion? Dominic Reyes is doing what no one thought he could do. And while this isn't the end of his story, the end of the belt, this is a moment in which it's a little bit deciding, I mean, look, me personally, I don't dislike Carlos Ulberg, but I do think that he's a little overrated. I think that Jan is done, and I wasn't really so impressed with the Blankowicz win. I'm not going to say it was a bad win, because it really was a great win. He fought an amazing fight, but Jan Blachowicz is just, he ain't that guy no more, man. He's the reason why I took all that fucking time off. I hate people who take so much time off, bro. Like, fucking Sarukian, bro. Like, shout out Armenians, bro. I love Armenia. I love the Armenian people. I know you guys, fuck with your boy. But, like, he's an embarrassment. I know I'm kind of getting off track. But he's low-key embarrassing y'all a little bit. But anyways, back to this week's fight. Who even knows when Sarukian's fighting. But, I think Dominic Reyes got robbed by Jones. I think everyone can agree with me on that. And this is going to be one of the greatest sports comebacks of all time. Dominic Reyes, real fucking deal. Super awesome guy. And let's talk fights. Dominic Reyes is a much smarter fighter than Carlos Ulberg. Dominic Reyes is a much higher IQ. He's been there more. He knows what's up. Carlos Ulberg isn't stupid, but Dominic, I don't know what's happening though. I mean, like in Space Jam, where like the aliens like take all the powers from like Patrick Ewing and shit, and like Charles Barkley, and then they Sean Kemp and shit, and then they get the powers. I feel like somebody came to Dominic Reyes' house like when did the streaks start, like fucking a year and a half ago, and just like gave him the powers like back. They didn't steal the powers, but they gave him the powers, and now like he's on this like tear. And fun fact about Dominic Reyes and fun fact about Jake here. He is from Hesperia. It's a small place in California. My cat's from Hesperia. And the only 2 people from Hesperia I know. My cat's tough as hell. So that must mean Dominic Reyes is tough as hell. Maybe who knows what's going on in Hesperia, right? But my cat's be rooting for Dominic Reyes, and so am I. So my pick is Dominic Reyes by finish. I think Dominic Reyes, he's not going to be swinging like Ulberg, because Ulberg's a swinger. Pause. But you know what I mean? Ulberg has got them heavy hands, and he likes to, power punch. I think look how Dominic caught Nikita Krylov. I mean, what a fucking finish that was, Poor Nikita, man. Nikita used to be so cool. Then, he just used to be so cool. But, I think Dominic Reyes wins this fight, and I think we give him a title shot. I'm fucking tired of hearing Yuri and Khalil and Jamal. I don't care. I know we have the Yuri and Khalil fight coming up, bro. I couldn't give a shit. Make them fight one more time. Make them fight the loser of Alex Magomed. Let's do that. If Yuri wins this, bro, make Yuri Alex 3. I'm not even kidding. Oh, spoiler on my thoughts on who's gonna win, Pereira, Ankalaev. I guess to stop talking about that. There's no one to watch the other video. But listen, I respect I respect Carlos Ulberg, I really do. But he's low key the fakest ranked 3 in the light heavyweight history. Maybe it was someone else, but you know what I mean. That's kind of mean of me to say. I try not to be mean. I try to be kinder in my words when it comes to the fighters because it's different. It's not really talking like It's not really talking hoops and football and stuff. It's a little different than that when it comes to fighting. I don't know how to explain why it's different, but it's different. So no disrespect to Carlos Ulberg, and no disrespect to anybody who I think is gonna lose. This has never been about disrespect, and if you're like Jake, I like this guy, I think he's gonna win, and you're an idiot. Well, you know what? I think you're an idiot. No, I'm kidding. But no. I don't know. I'm fucking tired. It's my 3rd time recording this video. Elgato's working now. I downloaded their software. Their shitty fucking software, by the way. Gotta say. And OBS was fucking with me today, but I think it's an Elgato issue though. I don't think it's an OBS issue. And like my cam link, because my cam attached to my camera. My room's a fucking mess. I made my bed though. I usually don't make my bed. Oh, check this out. 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 If you are justice, please do not lie. Oh shit, can you guys like see everything? That's cool. I have my blue light glasses because I'm gonna get a headache tomorrow when I live stream, and now I won't because I have these things. They're pretty cool though. They kind of work, but I'm realizing they show the reflection in my eyes, and that's gonna fucking suck. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Maybe next week. Maybe I buy new ones. But look, I'm like the Riddler. I love Batman, bro. I'm like, if you are justice, please do not lie. What would it take for your blind eye? And then, like, spoiler, but, like, the guy dies. But yeah, that's it. This is a longer video than it should have been. This is a fucking shitty card. But you know what? Sometimes you need the shitty cards, man. I've always said, sometimes it takes a shitty card to appreciate, just the time you being there and watching UFC instead of, doing whatever you have to do during the week, like a job and stuff. And, like, school. And, like, other responsibilities. No, and that's what the fights are really about for me. But like, subscribe. I'm gonna live stream next fight tomorrow. I'm gonna figure out a setup and everything. How do you guys like the room setup, by the way? Look at that. It's still kind of hot in here. I was sweating like crazy setting up all my cameras and my lights and my shit. But I figured it out, and pull my hair out over this technology. But yeah, man. Like, subscribe, and peace out. Here's my salute. Peace out. Yeah, that's it. Bye.